Don't player as the jet when it. Now he realizes it. Oh my. Out of four. Hello and welcome to the grand finals of Valorant First Strike North America. One best of 5 stands between us and crowning our champion, and I could not be more excited to be bringing you the action alongside Jordan Fisher, Vansili, and Veli. Now, the rest of the regions around the world have crowned their champions from Korea to Turkey to Japan and Europe, and we stand poised here in North America to do the same. From hundreds of teams down to just 2, TSM and 100 Thieves look to cement themselves and be the first to do it in Valorant history. Vansili, let's take a moment to appreciate the journeys that each of our teams have taken to get to this moment.
You know what, Dash? As a fan of this game, it was nice to witness the champions of each region, but we saved the best region for last. It's the NA Finals, baby.
Oh, yeah.
TSM versus 100 Thieves. These two teams fought tooth and nail, showed grit, and already beat some of the top teams in North America and Renegades and T1 and Envy and Sentinels to make it here. It's now time to see who actually wants this more. Who wants that title of the First Strike North American champions, and it's gonna be a banger.
It's going to be a banger to say the least, and Veli, as we take a look at some of the highlights for both of these teams throughout the tournament, we need to remember the semifinal series that took place just yesterday. First and foremost, it was TSM in 2-0 fashion, yet to drop a map here in the top 8 to make it to the finals.
I'm going to let you know now, Dash, this game was nothing like I have ever imagined before that series took place. Now, think about this. A few times, especially on Ascent, we saw Envy in the round on a loss with 3 or more players alive. You know why? TSM was smothering them. You got Sub-Rosa to thank him for that. There was dominance on his lurking roles, and they helped dominate Envy. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was going to go to a map 3. It wasn't even close. TSM did not lose a single map this event. They have looked so dominant. Wardell, Drone, Sub-Rosa, the triple duelist setup. You can't forget about the support players. TSM, they're primed and ready to hold that trophy at the end of the day.
We wanted the map 3. TSM wouldn't give it to us. Jordan, it took until that final semifinal yesterday, 100 Thieves over Sentinels in 2-1 fashion for us to get it.
It sure did, man, and it was a great way to end the day yesterday, honestly. With 100 Thieves versus Sentinel, what we saw yesterday was methodical, patient execution out of 100 Thieves, right? And duelist extraordinaire Asuna, who we've all been praising over the course of the last couple of days especially, he's absolutely shown up and shown out. I think Hiko and Asuna with 58 kills respectively day yesterday. It was an amazing way to see veteranship really jump 100 Thieves in their favor.
What a run both of these teams have made. For the sake of it, let's pull up the bracket and get a holistic picture of the journeys that they've taken to get to this point. Of course, it was 2 O's across the board when it came to those quarterfinals. And then moving into the semis, TSM once again over Envy in 2-0 fashion. 100 Thieves over Sentinels, 2-1 fashion, our only 3-map series to get to the grand finals. Important to recognize the grand finals is a full best of 5, and we're going to get into what that means for each of our teams. But it is a whole nother level of Valorant gameplay here on the day. For those of you watching right now, make sure you hit up your friends to tune in at 1 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Valorant_esports_NA or on youtube.com/ValorantNA. We want to make sure that we got as many eyeballs on this amazing tournament as we possibly can, because these teams, these players have brought everything to this tournament. They've brought their A game, to say the least. And Vansili, when we talk about stakes, there's a whole lot on the line here. First and foremost, it's the first Valorant North America First Strike trophy, and look how beautiful that thing is.
I can't wait for the day we could actually be there in person and see and witness this trophy. Maybe even someday I could maybe touch it too before we give it to the champions, but that looks beautiful. And when we talk about what's at stake, definitely not only the trophy, but it's a great way to close the loop for TSM, at least in my eyes. They've been that dominant team since the beta days. They've had their ups and their downs. They had some great opposition with Sentinels and then with Envy. Now they have new opposition with 100 Thieves, who for them, with a roster that just came in 2 months ago to make it into the finals of First Strike, man, that's a lot on line as well. They're that new up-and-comer. They might be that new number 1 for 2021.
Yeah, I mean, we got a whole lot on the line in terms of taking the title, cementing yourself as the best. Jordan, we've also seen a whole lot personally on the line for these players. Just yesterday, we had words shared from Hayes and Steele about what this means.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is the storyline that we all look for, especially in esports. And while this beautiful community continues to grow, we want that kind of action, right? For TSM, it was a fluke, but for 100 Thieves, a win is a win. There's that telltale, who would win between a gorilla and a bear? And we have both of these cats in the same cage today. Now, for today, a chip on the shoulder with something to prove for 100 Thieves and domination to uphold, as well as an embarrassing loss during their last matchup for TSM. We can talk about the things that are very different between these two teams. We can also talk about the things that are the same. And I think that for these guys here, there's going to be a lot of back and forth in terms of egos and who's going to challenge what. But we have between Dicey and Wardell being able to initiate executions off of how their team plays around them is going to be an interesting sign to see which way the day leads.
Jordan, as you just mentioned, the Dicey versus Wardell, for me, I think that's definitely going to be the X factor going into this matchup. You talked about a disappointing loss for TSM. I do agree. That was in a Nerd Street Gamers close qualifiers when they actually got eliminated and knocked out. You look at this head-to-head, this is in the main stage. It didn't look too good in terms of what you see in terms of stats for Dicey. But when you look at that storyline between Dicey and Wardell on that map of Ascent, November 7th, he tweeted out, jet difference. Why? Because head-to-head versus Wardell, he went 8-0. Wardell is back with a vengeance. He wants to take him down. They're going to be so aggressive for TSM, but at the same time, if Dicey is able to drink 4 coconut waters, it's going to be a brawl.
Oh my goodness. We talk about what's the same. We talk about what's different. Something we don't talk too often about, Veli, until we get to a point of a tournament like this is experience. And experience when it comes to the maps at hand. With the best of 5, we have the opportunity to see these two teams go at it across every available map within the game. And I think, therefore, experience comes far more into play.
Now, take a look at the second map. You look at Split, and only one team has played here. That has only been TSM, but for Bind, both of these teams have a significant winning record. Now, even with the 8-4 split on defense for Sentinels, I still think 100 Thieves could have been better, and that is what's scary. Now, the matchups that we're going to see is going to be magnificent. We all know 100 Thieves, they like to capitalize on hookah, and who's more to highlight than the duo, the young stars, the newcomers, Dicey and Asuna. We saw them on their double duelist setup, Raisin Jet, matching up with anybody on Sentinels that challenged them. Now, on the side of TSM, we all saw the slow, solo, lurking plays from Sub Rosa, how he dominated with the help from Hayes. Both of these matchups are going to be incredible. It's going to be pretty significant to see how each team picks out different weaknesses on each map between each other. Now, you take a look at Icebox and other maps, like I said, Split, where you don't really have VOD from, these teams from this event. That's a good thing because, listen, on Icebox, 100 Thieves went there, not TSM. A lot of people might be saying, you know what, 100 Thieves, they have experience, they're going to take this map. This map is going to be better for them. No, TSM hasn't showed anybody yet what they're capable of, and I think that that's something that we all have to remember. There are about 3 maps in this pool where one of these teams, they haven't played, so this is going to be a banger.
Yeah, lest we forget, the 100 Thieves did not select Icebox yesterday. They just so happened to run it in their favor, which is really great. They did select Haven, where they did lose. However, they obviously have some really great thought-out plans. A couple of things to note here that I think are really important to remember. Just like Veli said, 100 Thieves have not played on Ascent or Split this weekend. We've seen them succeed there. We've also seen TSM succeed there multiple times. But their last matchup with 100 Thieves on Ascent was a 7-13 loss to them, so that could definitely haunt them a little bit as we move into Ascent for Map 3 today. And the TSM has also not played Icebox or Haven this weekend. We do imagine that they have some really great things in store for us. And again, 100 Thieves winning on Icebox yesterday. There's some real confidence there. Whether or not that has a lot of foundation, we'll see today. But again, going back into where composition is concerned, I think we're going to see that big gorilla versus bear matchup in terms of do we default our comp or do we run triple duelist, or are going to see more of that in tournaments to come.
The thing is about composition, as you're talking here, Jordan, what I like about it too is when you look at the composition from TSM and from 100 Thieves, triple duelists, and then you have the Sentinel with 100 Thieves, the playstyle or the roles that these players have are still very similar. When I want to talk about head-to-head, let's talk about Hiko and Cutler. both as Sovas. We saw how good Cutler is as Sova with the shock darts and how good Hiko is with the Hunter's Fury. But both of them are very switty with the recon darts too, so I think they're even head-to-head. Then you look at Asuna and Drone, Phoenixes, Duelists, both popping off and both star players in my eyes for these two teams. I think that's pretty even too. Where I might give a slight advantage here for TSM is their lurk and the rotator roll, the flanker roll. That's going to be Nitro versus Sabrosa. Sabrosa for TSM, I give them the edge just because he's playing an agent, for example, like Raze, that has extra in the toolkit to be able to clear those areas on the flank. Then you look at Hayes as the anchorman versus Steel as an anchorman. I'm going to give the edge to 100 Thieves because Steel plays an agent that has a kit that allows to slow down rotations, while you have Hayes that has to fight first or has to fall back right after, and they play the retake after for TSM. So on paper, still very even for all. And like I said, it comes down to that X factor, the op versus op. Whoever's going to pop off between those two players, Dicey and Wardell, it's going to be the victory for TSM or 100 Thieves.
Well, you talk about individual players. I think that plays perfectly into the difference in play styles between these two teams. And I want to pull up this tweet, Jordan, that comes from Asuna just yesterday that to me perfectly encapsulates 100 Thieves' approach to this game.
1,000%. Asuna said yesterday to Ninja's praise, when you are the entry, you can't fall to relentless aggression. I'm giving Duelists to make sure my boomers do not die to rockets. I will gladly give up my life to watch them clutch, which came just after Ninja's praise. Asuna is actually a psychopath. This man satchel towards a freaking Raze ult. What a monster. I mean, coming from the blue hair wonder and video game god himself, I mean, like, that's definite, that's wonderful praise, obviously. But Asuna, man, he's definitely had a hell of a show in the last couple of days, and I'm excited to see what he has planned today.
It speaks to the aggression and the potential of that roster that we've been seeing realized right in front of us throughout the course of this tournament. 2:30 to go on the clock. I want to get straight into predictions. I want to understand who you guys think is going to be the first crowned champion for Valorant here in North America. Jordan Fisher, you're up first.
Let's go.
Man, here's the storyline that I want. This is the one that I want. I'm a storytelling guy. I love content. I love rivalries. I love these kinds of things. To see 100 Thieves take it today, 5 games, edging TSM out 3-2 is what I want to see. 100 Thieves obviously has a chip on their shoulder and a lot to prove, but I definitely can see that happening. And frankly, I do prefer the more methodical approach to the way that the game is played. I think that that's a lot of fun and really interesting to see. I think we see a lot more of that with 100 Thieves, and I'm hoping to see them lift that trophy today.
Jordan, thanks for going the distance, fans. What about you?
When you talk about chip on the shoulder, I think TSM has a larger chip on their shoulder. Like I said, they got knocked out by 100 Thieves in the close qualifiers of Nerd Street Gamers. And every single time that I've seen TSM get knocked out early in a tournament, like a top 4, top 8, they come back with a vengeance. And it's not going to be a series that actually starts up at like 9 a.m. for these guys sometimes, where it's like, it's a slow start. They've improved their pistols too going into this qualifier. Remember that spotlight where he says we couldn't win a single pistol? That was during the qualifiers. You look at the main stage now, they're at least winning one of the two in the match that they're playing. So there is improvement there. I think TSM's going to take this still, and I'm going to give this a 3-2 as well. I want to see a 5 series. Okay. We saw a 2-1 thanks to Jordan on the desk. This time Jordan's on the desk. We're going to have a 3-2.
Veli, the final word goes to you. What'll it be?
All right, I'm going to say this. I'm going to against 100 Thieves every single time so far this series. I'm going against 100 Thieves against T1. They clapped. 100 Thieves against Sentinels. They mopped the floor with them. So that's why this time around, I'm going to choose TSM again. Okay, I'm going to let you guys know. TSM has not dropped the map. I trust him. I believe in him. But I will say this. 100 Thieves has proven me wrong every single time. And I love that. This is going to be a great series either way.
The old bait and switch. Well, we're poised for a good one either way, ladies and gents. Up next is map 1 of the First Strike Grand Finals.
Hell yeah.
So 100 Thieves actually knocked us out in the first qualifier to get to this event. And we're not happy about that.
Wardell has no idea. Nitro with 2, Nitro with 3. 100 Thieves have done it. They've eliminated TSM.
100 Thieves looked a lot better than I expected, but their win against us was a fluke.
I wouldn't call it a fluke that we won. And if we beat them, it's like, okay, is this also a fluke?
Joke's over.
The Phoenix ult coming in. Gets past the breach ult.
Asuna. The progress we've shown is exponential. we have a good shot of being the best team in America.
It's gonna be 100 Thieves taking the series and meeting TSM in the First Strike Grand Final.
And I'm so excited that it has all come down to this. 100 Thieves, TSM, this is what I need in my life.
He might get himself a fourth here. He finds him around the corner and he's gonna get the ace.
God, that was filthy.
This could very well be it. Envy's life in the tournament on the line here. The push comes through. TSM are going to the grand finals.
Having the rematch to just, you know, pack it up and remind them that we're TSM.
It seems as though we might have created a new rivalry here with 100 Thieves and TSM.
Oh, and he hits the shot.
Dicey up against Wardell, and
Oh my God, the flick.
Now there goes the rocket. Beautiful from 100 Thieves. Asuna.
and Asen up against Sabrosa.
Watch out for the showstopper, and it lands on food. Rosa around the corner. Rosa for one more. He's gonna have the paint shells there, and Sabrosa locks the round in yet again for TSM.
Absolutely anybody's game. We know the strength of both of these teams, and I think that everybody's excited to see this clash.
Seen him do this before. The HP is within range. Will they fake him? Will they not? They know he's shifting out into the smoke. Does he have what it takes? He gets down Dapper. It's the 1v1. Will he have it? Oh my God! The Red Bull clutch for Nitro.
Oh, that was beautiful. And there's Hayes on the outskirts.
Oh, they have no idea that Hiko's here, do they? But Soms is going to go down. Hiko defends. They needed to kill Hiko.
It's going to be Wardell who manages to get one. Wow. Looking for a second one. Maybe a third for Wardell if he's feeling kinky. He nails a shot there.
There is one more series between us and our Valorant First Strike North American champions.
It's all about to go down. I'm DDK. I'm joined by Sean here on the mic to lead you guys through this incredible grand final, this best of 5 grand final here between 100 Thieves and TSM. Sean, this is the stories for both of these teams, the days, the weeks, the months that have culminated in this moment. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, we started all the way back at the end of October, right? There's just all these teams, hundreds of teams in North America trying to strive for this moment right here, the grand finals. And who better to be in this situation than the people that have built this scene, it feels like, as content creators. People like Wardell and Hiko are in the grand finals of First Strike. This is a dream scenario in my eyes. I never thought this would be possible. I'm so excited. I got goosebumps just thinking about it. And I think we're in for a treat today, Dan.
I completely agree. I mean, we were looking at the maps and how things should pan out statistically, and we're going to be talking a lot about that as we do go through these different maps. And it kind of feels like everything's aligning to give us a 4-5 map, like crazy series between these two teams. As mentioned, 100 Thieves. Well, you know what? I'll hold that thought because we're going to go straight into the Verizon Agent Select, Sean.
Holy, we're going into Split right off the bat. We have yet to see 100 Thieves play Split in the playoff bracket, and we have Asuna coming out swinging on Rain. We have Dicey on Jet, but Hiko, is he faking us right now with the Viper? He has to be. We're getting trolled, right?
Dude, he's playing us again. He's done this before.
He's playing us.
I'm not gonna fall for it this time.
This guy, I'm unsubbing. I'm sick of it. I'm unsubbing to the man. I'm sick of this.
But what if he does do it? One of these times, maybe it's gonna happen. I mean, these teams would have been saving something, right? Both of these teams know that there is a strong chance that they'll get to that grand finals, and here we are. So, Sean, should we expect to see some curveballs from these teams and stuff that we haven't seen before?
I mean, from TSM, we're going to get more of the same, right? They're on this triple duelist comp, and yeah, there's Hiko locking in the raise, so that's something a little bit more expected, but 3 duelists coming out of 100 Thieves, that's a little shocking given their play style. I like the power that they're going to try to bring into this matchup. They're trying to go blow for blow with TSM. Since bringing out this triple duelist comp, though, Dan, undefeated, actually. They have yet to lose a series with this comp. It's incredible. 15-2 in their last 17 series. I mean, these guys are the best team in the scene, and they're doing it in a different way right now. So 100 Thieves has a lot of work cut out for them on this map, and they've actually opted to start on attack.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a hard start for 100 Thieves. A quick statistic for you guys out there. Split's only been played 3 times by 100 Thieves officially in the last 3 months, and they've lost every single one. They're on a 0% win rate on this map, and their worst half is the attacking half, which is where we start off. So we're going to have to see something special, something different from 100 Thieves here to open things up against TSM, Sean.
And it looks like they're grouping towards A here early with 2 duelists. The Omen sitting there. Are they going to flash the ramps early for some kind of quick play? They're just feeling out TSM early round right now. Both teams unsure what the other is doing. You can see 100 Thieves getting some mid-pressure going.
TSM looking to go for that burst there. They will actually trade 1-for-1, which isn't too bad, actually, all things considered. They got some information as well. And we can see on the mini-map right now, 100 Thieves are pushing that bomb up towards that A site, possibly up the A ramp. There's the defense from Haze. They'll slow things down to prevent this attack from coming in. But Asuna, we know how deadly he is on the front lines, on that Reyna, looking to find a headshot or two, as Dicey's there to assist as well. The duelist, the chemistry between these players is definitely something quite special. But Sabrosa from up top is going to be able to take him down. It's looking very difficult indeed to get that spike planted. It's now lost at the back of the site. Everything rests on Nitro's shoulders in the 1 versus 3. The Ghost is definitely the weapon of choice for Nitro, but not much health to work with. He does have the teleport, he has Paranoia as well, so there's some tools available to him, but you can see that TSM, they are well set up for this. They are going to make his life impossible.
Left.
This looks super difficult for Nitro, and there's the dark cover coming towards Heaven. He never saw Wardell coming on the rafters. An easy first round for TSM, and Sabrosa picking up right where he left off in the semifinals, coming into that pistol round. The rope frag to start it off in the grand finals. I can't even believe it. But something to look out for, Dan, is throughout this playoff bracket, 100 Thieves, 116 rounds played. TSM, only 70. They have blown out their opposition. No one has gotten more than 7 rounds on a single map. There's not much footage. But there is footage of Sabrosa doing stuff like this, getting very aggressive early in B main.
I'm liking the Bucky from Dicey. I'm definitely a Bucky fan. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can pull out of the bag with that one, but there is the retake of the B main position, so I'm liking this from TSM, not really allowing 100 Thieves to have control there, and they are working for that B heaven control. They want to push onto the B site, so holding onto B main is very important for TSM. They're going to be getting multiple kills here in this defensive effort, so it's looking really good. They read this so well. They slowed down 100 Thieves and didn't allow 100 Thieves to really play their game in this round, but there is a spike to be planted and still more damage to be done. But in comes Drone, and it's all on Nitro again with the Sheriff. To find a headshot, but he won't be able to do that, and the spike defuse will come in. So, I mean, that was a dangerous looking round. I'm definitely impressed by 100 Thieves, but it was a good response from TSM too to slow them down.
Yeah, not only were we spectating dicey, but things started to look a little dicey for TSM. Wardell was reeling into the defender's spawn area outside B, and it looked like they had lost the site. But because of that B main control and just the way they pinched 100 Thieves on the site, they made the retake look so effortless. And that was actually quite a big investment coming from 100 Thieves that round. So this round, again, another strange save coming in from 100 Thieves. TSM is starting this match exactly how they were hoping to.
Yeah, you're totally right. It's looking very comfortable. We might see this mid-aggression again. They obviously have the dash available for Wardell. They understand, though, 100 Thieves, they understand what this play means, that Wardell might be lurking in the outer edges of that dark cover. And the punch
look at
comes
Steel.
through.
He's going into the B side. He's found a kill at Heaven.
Yeah, that's
and now
huge.
the pinch is happening.
It's going to create a lot of chaos here. You can see the B Heaven defense is starting to be very, very troubling here. So Broza needs to win these fights, and he will. He'll get the double, holds onto the B Heaven control, which allows his team to find position for the retake, and even getting the paint bombs again. That's beautiful. That's going to delay this plant from happening, and now they need to find a way to try to do that. But Sabrosa's trying to deny absolutely everything. This is ruthless from TSM. They could have tried to force the plant there, but they go in for the kills.
Yeah, the harassment on that spike plant in the B site is something to just witness. Every time I watch TSM play Split, they know the hot hands line up for that default plant. They know the paint shells line up for that default plant. They're aftershocking it from spawn. It's so difficult to get the spike down in that B site playing this team. And that's the beauty of having this no sentinel comp. So many people to deny that spike going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good catch there on the lurk from Steel. That's something that we're going to have to keep an eye out for. TSM are going to have to keep an eye out for that because that's something that he's very dangerous with. And once again, we're seeing this trend of this B main pressure coming through again from 100 Thieves. They're really trying to condition TSM to expect this at this early timing of the round and to use their utility, as we're seeing here, to try to punish 100 Thieves. But looks like Steel won't be denied the lockdown, and now he's got that lockdown. That's ready to go. What are the options now as we come into the reset from 100 Thieves, Sean?
I mean, that is a huge win. Getting that lockdown enables you to cleanly take either site with Killjoy. And you can see now they're going to group up to A, and I'm sure they're going to get it down right outside of A main. You know, this Phoenix is going to have a long path to run. Drone is going to be nested in the site. Cutler protecting him there from elbow. He does have the triple flashes there on Breach. His fault line has charged. So by no means is this going to be simple for TSM, but the lockdown definitely has me favoring them. Oh,
I like
Drone
this.
is going to go aggressive on it.
Oh, he's going aggressive, absolutely. They're going to try to win the round off of this. Drone, he gets two there, tries to drop the lockdown. He can't do it, but he does a lot of damage and actually allows for TSM to have the numbers advantage here. 4 versus 2. Spike is being planted backside now on the A side. Hiko with the lurk around the A ramp position, but lurk upon lurk as Sabrosa comes in. And now again, Nitro, last man standing, but against 2, there's nothing for him in that situation. And it doesn't really seem like it makes sense, Sean, that they survive with 4 players if we look at that setup just as that lockdown was placed.
It's actually mind-blowing to me. You know, Drone has gotten so much juice out of this Phoenix ult throughout this playoff bracket. I think he's going to convert a lot of duelists into Phoenix players. This is unreal. I've seen so many clips of him so far where he just pops this ult and disrupts massive executes coming his way.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, that was really, really smart. They were in a position where he had to make a play. He could never have escaped the site, really. So very, very strong intuitive play, I should say, from him. And TSM, as you said, Sean, they're really starting off in the way that they wanted to. And so far, we've had a lot of that B main pressure as we go into this next round from 100 Thieves. They've been trying to farm the ult orbs to get Steel on those lockdowns.
Wardell has the op in hand. His economy is just out of control. And this is what we mentioned earlier when we watched TSM. It's very difficult to hold the middle of the map when you don't have a Sentinel. And you can see the Stinger getting the opening frag on Wardell. Maybe some early round jitters coming from him. Dicey picking up the operator. This is a very winnable round now for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and they have a lot of time to play with. I like this from TSM. Here's the response. Trying to push B main. If they can get info here, they'll find out a lot. But Steel can punish this. And there we go. Finds the headshot onto Sabrosa. That will trigger the push. The B split comes through. Hayes only gets a single frag, which now leaves this situation to the A players of TSM on the rotation. Drone and Cutler will make their way through as the spike is planted for 100 Thieves. And Drone, you can see, clears out that B heaven position. But TSM, they've got so many players. Dicey's on the operator too. It feels like it will be very, very hard to find anything here. And if 100 Thieves play this perfectly, they'll give no opportunity, no over-peaking to allow those fragging opportunities for TSM. So looking really good for their first round here, 100 Thieves. Drone will try to make his way through. Nitro on the back as well, nipping at their heels. Able to get the kill into Dicey. Steel goes down all of a sudden. Nitro able to trade onto Cutler, but it's a 1 versus 1 after all is said and done. The tap comes through for Drone, applying the pressure, trying to force Nitro out. He gets him. And is there time for this? I'm not sure that there is. Drone's going to stick it. He's going to find out one way or the other. And there we go. The Playzilla Thrifty comes through from 100 Thieves. But Sean, should it ever have been so close?
Whew, that got outrageously close. I never thought, you know, Drone and Cutler would be able to make their way into the site with Dicey holding the operator on Heaven, Nitro on the flank. It looked like 100 Thieves had them cornered. But we've seen this throughout the entire tournament, watching actually these 2 players. I've seen them constantly retake this B site. I don't know how they do it. But 100 Thieves lost a massive economic advantage by losing all those players, but a huge Thrifty win for them there.
Yeah, and again,
quick back on the operator.
Yeah, as you said, that economy is going to allow him to keep that in hand. And 100 Thieves, they can't really afford to lose this round. As you said, they lost so much money in that previous round. They won it, but it went down to the last player, which means that they could get reset on the economy pretty quickly here. So A lot of pressure on this round. They're looking to go for more B Heaven control, it would appear, as Sabrosa's looking like he's got a lineup in store.
Oh, but look at Hayes. He's playing Heaven. I guarantee you he has that paranoia ready. The second Sabrosa tells him, but Steel gets the jiggle out of Wardell.
Oh. Those are some big misses right there. That's going to give a huge opportunity for 100 Thieves. They're going to call it, going for that split onto the B site now. 4 players through B Heaven. Steel there by himself, which is more than enough, it appears, from B main. Able to remove these defenders from this B site one at a time. And now it's just down to Drone and Cutler again. But, I mean, this looks pretty impossible. But that's what we said about that last situation. But it does appear that they're going to hold on to what they have here, and it will be a save.
Dan, I absolutely love what I'm seeing. I absolutely love it. Steel is playing the TSM game. He's playing exactly how Sabrosa is going to play this lurk on the next half. He's willing to take the fights, even if it's against an operator in the other hands of Wardell. I mean, this man is just fearless. I can't believe he took that engagement again. Oh my goodness, Steel. We've seen him. I saw him come up massive yesterday, actually, with that cage play, the 1-on-2. People think of 100 Thieves as this very tactical team. They're willing to take off the gloves, and they're willing to take these fights sometimes. And I think it catches a lot of these other pro teams off guard.
Yeah, I have to say, you know, given the role that you expect Steel, based off of the agent that he's playing, the kinds of fragging that he does and the kinds of maneuvers, the aggressions that we see from him are very startling and unexpected, and he does get away with it time and again. And that kind of statement against Wardell too, typically in my mind, is for most people, you don't expect Wardell to ever miss. And that's, you know, so if he is missing, and you've got to give it to Steel to capitalize on that. That's going to create a lot of openings now for 100 Thieves. And again, statistically, 100 Thieves only win 29% of their attacking rounds on split shot.
Oh, that's awful. But would you look at that? The fault line coming from Cutler, followed up by the op peek by Wardell. That'll get him in the game. An early 5-on-4 here for TSM.
That's pretty big. TSM on the defense. It's always nice to start a man to the goods. Now, Sean, you know, with this reset, you know, what are 100 Thieves looking to do here? It looks like they're going for that mid play. And Sabrosa will catch Steel on the leg.
Yeah, again, mid should be weak without this Sentinel, and you can see they've now lurked into B Heaven. TSM isn't aware yet, but you can see now Sabrosa has seen Nitro's gun barrel.
Just the hood is showing there from Sabrosa. Won't be able to connect with that one. And the paranoia sent through to the back pillar. Hayes with, oh, he's going to get some good connections off of the Bulldog. The ADS proving strong there in that case. Sabrosa still holding on to back pillar, finally challenged by Nitro, who will win the battle. And now there might be some chance here for 100 Thieves to convert. There's the rocket coming out of Hiko, the showstopper, to take down Wardell. And once again, Nitro in these clutch situations. He's been fantastic in positions that look very difficult. Nitro always seems to find a way, using the dark cover there, to allow himself the possibility to reposition a fake TP to start to create question marks now for his opponents as to what he's doing. But he's still stuck in this corner. A single bullet would do it through this smoke as he waits for the tap. Nitro picking his moment, and it's going to be Drone to win the day as TSM will recover, and that will be 5-2 in favor of them.
We good.
Whew. I think everyone in chat maybe had a little bit of faith of Nitro to somehow win that 1-on-2 after what we saw yesterday on Bind when he was constantly winning those TPs onto the B site. This man is a magician with the Omen TPs, but Drone patiently waits it out. I think TSM played that perfectly yet again on the retake. And that brings us to 5-2. This is still a dead even game, guys. This is a very defender-sided map.
Oh, Sean, so Steel is one ult orb pip away from getting his lockdown. And we've been seeing that consistent play for the B main control to get those ult orbs in the hands of Steel. They're geared up to do it again. It looks like this will be another lockdown rounds. Where would you most like to see that work for 100 Thieves? Given what we've seen so far, that A lockdown was blown up by the run it back previously.
I would love to see the B lockdown just because I know Steel will have the lineups for the Molotovs in that back left corner that won't be hit by the lockdown. And then you'll also potentially see Nitro TP into the back of the B site using his ult. And that is an extremely difficult B hold to hit. So I expect them to give that look to TSM. And TSM's going to give them the B main orb this round. So it could very well happen.
What's really interesting here as well is that there is a setup in mid for TSM to get quite aggressive. So if 100 Thieves try to lock themselves into this strat, their timing might be a bit too slow based off of what TSM's aggression might look like in mid. So we'll have to see how that pans out here as the B side can be
on deck. There it is.
Oh, the dodge there from Asuna and the punish. That is really good there for 100 Thieves. 5 versus 4 early on. They can still go for this lockdown play if they want. They don't even necessarily have to use it. And we'll return to that thought in a moment as Hayes tries to hold on to this B heaven position. There's the smoke. The lockdown does indeed happen. And given the heavy mid presence from TSM, they know that the all play, this lockdown play was coming.
Steel actually opts to use the molly for close. Nitro going to clear out the site with his paranoia. And this is a free site right here for 100 Thieves. But the retake is going to come very fast from TSM.
Just Wardell and Cutler remaining. And they all know where Wardell is, especially now that the Cloudburst has been tossed towards Mail. And this will be quite hard to find a way in once again. You know, there's all these positions set up for 100 Thieves. Dicey's the operator, so it's very good at dealing with these kind of small peaks that will come through from the retaking TSM players. As Wardell knows he has to deal with the flank first. Oh no, it's a whiff there. Hiko takes him down. The trade's through, but it's a 1 versus 3 now for Cutler to worry about. So it's not very easy at all. Cutler will just try to take what is given, which is another kill onto Steel. Able to save the operator, and that's something, at least small consolation there for Cutler. But for 100 Thieves, up to 3 rounds now, only 2 on their deficit.
Yeah, some very uncharacteristic misses coming out of Wardell early in this game. I expect, the jitters to probably even out as the series goes longer and longer. But he's definitely not at, his peak form that we've seen throughout the rest of the tournament. And that is a very good sign for 100 Thieves, because I think he could have turned, a few of these rounds that 100 Thieves has won in TSM's favor.
Yeah, and it was cool as well to see in that previous round that TSM, we were talking about the lockdown play. TSM knew it was coming. They had that mid set up. So I'm curious what their approach will be here. The ultimates will not be as much of a part of this round. The initial B main pressure comes through. A very aggressive dark cover there from TSM. We'll have to see if there's anything else to go behind this. Nitro is going to TP into the defender spawn. Oh my god, he actually finds a kill off of it. Sabrosa, that's such a heinous maneuver that you could never have expected it. And he'll get caught off guard by that completely. Hayes in a high up position there, right outside of the choke point into the site. I don't know if he's been spotted or not, but Asuna's going to take him down. It was just a matter of time. And my god, how does this happen, Sean? How do you make a TP into spawn work in a professional match?
This round is all but over. 100 Thieves has tactically outplayed TSM in the 9th round in such a big way. I mean, I've constantly said that Sabrosa is dominating this B main. They play so aggressive. They're always up on B main. What does that mean? Well, that means that there's no one playing far back. That means that the deep spawn TP that typically would not be there, given a Cypher playing the B site, is now in play. And Nitro's aware of this. So he makes this what seems is a massive risky play, but against TSM, it's actually a great play. Very well done by 100 Thieves here.
Yeah, I love that, and it's something that's so reliable. 100 Thieves are a team that really understands this. This is the deep CS knowledge and fundamentals coming through as an IGL, with Steel and so on. But you know what? We'll return to that thought in a little bit here, as we do have a few sheriffs for TSM to work with. We might see something funky. They've got 2 players on either extremity looking to maybe meet the 100 Thieves attack. As Dicey's waiting for this, as is Nitro, so it doesn't seem like they can get too much. And just quickly go to that previous point. The way that 100 Thieves condition you as their opponent is to make you do certain things, as Sean was saying. And 100 Thieves, I think, are one of the most impressive teams in the game at the moment in understanding precisely where the openings are based off of that conditioning that they're forcing onto you.
Again, TSM finds themselves quickly in a 3-on-5. This retake, they don't have any weapons. Wardell just has these daggers, but now he's a few short.
There we go.
Just kidding. He gets them all back. 4-on-3. Very doable situation again for TSM.
He does have the double updraft as well, dash available. Wardell can make some magic happen here. Playing around the corner, he'll try to find another frag. Oh, there's the right click. He doesn't manage to land the kill. That's unfortunate. Might be still something to be done here in terms of damage, but Looks like 100 Thieves will be good to hold on to this for the most part. And down to 2 players. So all things considered with what was used by TSM, some good economic damage. But we are coming to the end of the first half here very quickly as we get tied up 5-5.
Yeah, 100 Thieves has really fought back in this game where TSM had a massive economic advantage early. You know, they've taken maybe 4 ops out of Wardell's hands so far this game. Wardell's had, not much success on the Bladestorm either. I am very impressed with how 100 Thieves has weathered the storm.
Again, that B main pressure coming through for 100 Thieves, trying to keep that whole dynamic working to their favor. And in fact, actually, TSM calling the bluff, they actually have that aggressive dark cover. So TSM have B main information right now. And it feels like right now TSM have a pretty good picture, Sean, as to what's happening as we see the creep through ropes.
Yeah, this is a little sketchy, though, for these 2 players on the A side. A super heavy A split is about to come in. Nitro's going to sell it even more with this Paranoia to B heaven. It is now a 4-on-2 at this A site for this hit.
Drone is able to get out of there, though, and it does seem like generally retake positions have been set up by TSM. Wardell able to get the pick from elbow. That's a really good start, and here comes the double back towards the B site. They know they can't get into the A site. They can't force the issue at this point. They have to just commit to the B site now. They've got 40 seconds to go. They'll actually try to split off Nitro towards B main. They know that B main was lost, actually. So if Nitro can win B main back, there might actually be an opportunity here. Sabrosa, though, great off angle. It's going to be very difficult for Nitro, and now it's just this B main hold. This is everything here for 100 Thieves, but they might be thinking to go back to A indeed, but Wardell's on the A side. This is going to be so hard, so difficult to try to traverse their way all the way onto that spike plant. Time is of the essence. Wardell, they're firing off with that operator backside, doing the damage. And it's just dicey now against 5 players. TSM have well and truly outplayed 100 Thieves in this round. And that will have them at 6 rounds. The Prime Gaming flawless there for TSM.
Man, it always looks so sketchy when these rope hits come in onto TSM. Playing super far back in heaven. Drone and Wardell, 2 duelists on the A site. But they're able to stop 2 separate hits on the A site in 1 round. They just make it look so easy from, elbow. Wardell sneaks into the site. And at that point, I mean, it was over.
Yeah, definitely. I really like the setup there that they had, just playing more retake on A positionally. But into the next one we go. Wardell still A ramp. Sabrosa pushing very aggressively in B main. Very forward positions, annihilating Steel. The trade comes through from Hiko, and very quickly a 3 versus 4 situation for 100 Thieves to try to recover. Asuna doing the damage that is dismissed back into ropes. And now they can reset the scenario. 3 versus 3, a minute and 15 to play with. And Drone is starting to ask some questions here, Sean. He wants to know what the hell Asuna's doing. And, well, that looks unfair. Drone is so lethal.
TSM and these ropes, man. These guys are dancing on them.
And it's going to be the A play here. Sean, we've got that spy trying to make its way onto the plant. And I don't know that they understand this. They might be able to get into spawn. They've got lots of time. That ropes play that they saw is so ambiguous for Asuna. It could have been a setup for B or A. Cutler seems to be asking some questions here, and he gets traded. Again, it's Nitro. You talked about it, Sean, but he doesn't get a chance to even play the 1v2.
Very well done by TSM. It's super easy in Cutler's position right there to be caught off guard by that screen hit. I'm so glad you pointed that out, because I actually thought this was a fantastic play by 100 Thieves in the mid game to push into defender spawn right there through screens, looking to even it up.
Going into the second half, I think this is a good performance for the attacking side, 5-7 for 100 Thieves. I think they'll be very happy with that, historically, given how they play here.
Yeah, I actually think both teams can be a little bit happy with that half, because TSM, keep in mind, again, they aren't running a Sentinel. Attack side should be easier for them on split. So this is an even game right now, in my opinion. But the quick ramp hit right there by Wardell. And that's going to draw a rotate. Look at this. 4 people in this B site right now for 100 Thieves. Steel all on his lonesome in B. But there's a whole barrage of nonsense right in front of him. Those Killjoy mollies, You know, the alarm bot's there, but will that be enough to stop this hit, Dan?
Yeah, so much on Steel's shoulders. It was by design. This could always happen that this would be the case. Steel knows it. He's going to be ready for this, and maybe he can't be ready for this. The fault line comes through. They run straight past Steel. He finds one in the back of Sabrosa, and he does way too much damage there. 3 versus 4 here now for TSM to try to find a way to figure out how they can win this round. 100 Thieves, they've got the rotation in. It's up to Wardell on this flank from B Heaven to really make the difference. I feel like he's got to create some space, but he won't have too much time to do it. The trade onto Asuna, so he has done some damage, but again, Spike has to be planted. Not too much time pressure just yet. It's just the fact that Cutler is against 2 players still. Or 3 players, I should say. He manages to make his way with the Spike back into B main. He doesn't have time to rotate across the map, and you know what? 100 Thieves know that, so they can just sit on this B site and wait for Cutler to take position. And as he makes his way forward, there should be someone to spot him on the cross. Or in fact, they might just wait for the plant here. So they actually, it seems like they anticipated that he could have rotated all the way to the A site. So they've peeled away 1 player. That's what Cutler's delay has done.
Oh, he has no time for the plant. So this round is all but over. They're gonna let him live. This is so smart from 100 Thieves. He's actually gonna get no money, but he only gets 1,000 credits for surviving out that round.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Oh, the oversight, the not have time. Oh my god, it's so the fact that Steel gets that kill there is really bad. It felt that kill made all of the difference, and that's an oversight not to check this corner. They have the fault line that goes all the way through the back, but nobody checked that 1 corner.
Unbelievable. Steel with the nerd molly on the ground, gives himself a perfect little nook to live where it doesn't tag him. So unexpected when you see something like that on the ground as well. But you look at this. A pistol round eco right here to put the match potentially at 7-7.
Very nice start there for Asuna. Not too much that TSM can seemingly do against the utility here in defense of this B Heaven position. Asuna just spraying the bullets with that stinger. And it's going to wipe out the rest of the team. And it's worth mentioning, there's a couple things, you know, Sean, you said nobody had managed to get more than 7 rounds against TSM. We're already starting to see that happen, but to add some extra flavor to that stat is the fact that this map, if we look at the whole series, this is a map that TSM are actually supposed to and kind of need to win based on how the statistics look going from map to map in this series. If 100 Thieves win this map, their chances to win this grand finals goes up dramatically.
I agree completely, and what we've seen out of TSM so far this event means I still believe there's gas in the tank. And they will have a heavy advantage on this round with all the stingers and frenzies. Oh my goodness, Wardell dashes right into Hiko. And even though a lot of damage is done to Asuna, this is a massive win for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I'm loving the defensive the way that they're setting up their defense on the this composition. We'll have to talk about that in a moment. TSM do have this B site under control now, looking for that spike plant. But a lot of the ways in which 100 Thieves play is for retakes. And you can see that by that heavy mid presence early on, giving up the site completely. So this isn't
They have
really
no ult stand. This is going to be a very difficult retake for them, especially if TSM keeps distance with these rifles. They have Phantoms, they have a Vandal or 2. I don't know how 100 Thieves cuts the distance to get close enough to take these guns out of their hands.
Yeah, it's a very good question. We do have the TP there by Nitro to get forward ground. Now they'll also make their way forward with Eco there as well. So they are trying to find ways to cut that distance, using the smokes to cut off line of sight. But as you say, very well done by TSM to just continue to make sure they have that superiority with their weapons. And Steel's going to have to back away here. This was that kind of bonus round here for 100 Thieves, given the fact that, you know, they had mostly stingers, the Ares, Steel running around here. He's going to die, and didn't want to save, would rather have the money going into the next rounds, and that is exactly what will happen. But this will be the first full buy now into this second half. And we might be able to get a good look on the ultimate situation, because I'm very curious again, the way in which 100 Thieves do these setups with Killjoy is obviously if they have the lockdown available, it can change what they can do enormously on their defense.
And we actually see Dicey on the operator. I don't think we've seen Dicey on the operator yet so far in the grand finals. So this will be interesting to see. He's been shaky throughout the playoff bracket so far. So we should definitely keep an eye on him at this A bomb site.
So this time we have a pretty passive opening from 100 Thieves. Only one player really in B Heaven, I suppose technically two. If you count Asuna by the rafters. And they have a lot of Killjoy utility set up around the B mid position as well. TSM with a very slow pace too here, Sean.
Yeah, TSM moving very slow. And you can see Hayes holding all the way back by attack side spawn. He's afraid of this A push. Dicey's playing, in the middle by flower pot area. The B push coming in from Steel. Very, very important trade there by Wardell. Holy.
That's so huge. Asuna, he anticipated because they'd only seen his teammate that it was a solo push, but Wardell's still looking for that. He still has the game sense to realize that it's possible there could be one player still there. And that's going to tip the scales.
Yeah, the negative side of all this Steel aggression is a round like this, where he loses all of his utility presence on the map. Wardell kind of overextending a little bit into the B site right there, and you can see that's causing Nitro to rotate to A. Dicey with the pick. We're in a 3-on-2, and Nitro is at this A site, Dan.
Absolutely, the paranoia will go through as well, and Dicey can do so much from this position. Oh, just barely missing the opportunity there, but he might get another one. Hayes and Cutler, two incredibly important kills, and just enough time to plant. Oh, the paint bombs come through, can they deny? No, Cutler's got enough health to survive that one, and Hiko's going to make his way forwards, but he's certainly softened up Cutler in this 1 versus 2. He knows the TP to screens was the play. There goes the flash, he turns away. Hiko now down to 2 points of health. He's got to be perfect on the shots, but an ult, the breach ult is sent to guarantee it. That's how much they respect Hiko. Sean right there.
Whew! Very well done by, I guess, what the community called the boomers of TSM. The double frags that come in the 3-on-2 scenario, leaving Hiko in the 1-on-2. Cutler with the perfect flash into the double peek, and then popping his ult to secure the round. That was a very, very important round, and how this match is going to play out. You can see now 100 Thieves 0 economy left in a round like this. So much importance. The match is going down to the wire. They're going to actually defer the double-digit round to TSM here.
Yeah. And we've got Steel playing for the ultimate orbs again. He's farming that one. He doesn't have the lockdown available just yet, but he must be fairly close at this point. And you can see how 100 Thieves, they're a team that do like to mix up their setups a lot, round to round. And Steel's holding down the A site. They can play retake around there. They're mostly rotating towards B here, but as Sean mentioned, not really too much in the way of util here for 100 Thieves to work with, or weaponry. A great shot though from Nitro, trying to make things a little bit awkward, but ultimately, TSM will claim this B site, and a lot of rounds like this for the ecoing side is about just trying to guess, what is the anti-eco strat for TSM in this particular round.
Spike planted.
And they were really hoping that it would have been something towards A, one of the fast A contacts.
And I know you, Dan. I know you're probably in love with that minor detail right there of Hayes saying, "Hey, don't plant the spike yet. Don't plant the spike yet. Let me get this orb." They're getting every edge they can on this map right now, and that's very important given their comp. All of their ults are super impactful, right? So the fact that they're building these ults up with the ult orbs before they plant the spike, huge for TSM.
And I'm really curious to where Steel's ult is at right now, because Drone just got his run it back. So that could be quite dangerous, and if we don't have any lockdowns or something to counter that, okay, so we've got the lockdown that could counter that. We've got Hiko, who's got his showstopper as well. So there are some counters to be had for what run it back can offer, which is very fast site control. So we'll have to see in this round how the ultimate economy is used by both teams.
Oh, this is going to be a B hit. I can see how everyone right now is moving right now through the attack spawn. They thought about running a default. Things are changing quickly right now for TSM. I think they're just going to send Drone in. Drone, go kill.
Absolutely. And you can see that 100 Thieves knows it too. They're playing retake B because they have lockdown, and lockdown is better in terms of the retake on B, generally speaking. So there we go. Here's the execution. Set piecing into the side. There's that running back that Sean was talking about. Oh, the clothesline to Nitro. That is devastating. That's a huge kill to find. Spike planted. The paint bombs, though, will take down Hayes. That's a huge win. But speaking of huge wins, Sabrosa holding onto the spawn position. There's the flank from Asuna. And it doesn't seem like there's anything, not too much left in the tank here. It kind of falls onto what Dicey's able to do. He's down by the hell position. Hiko's going to have to drop. And there's that cloudburst that allows Hiko to drop if he wants to, but he makes certain that he covers his angles correctly as he moves from position to position. There's the pressure, there's the tap. Bordel, better angle, playing that distance advantage, and TSM lock down the round.
Man, the minor details of using the run it back to get defender spawn control like this with drone. And Sabrosa just holds his pocket on into spawn and catches Steel off guard on this rotate. The two duelists from TSM, we've seen them have immense success with these aggressive plays throughout the tournament, and it continues here. What a play.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And under Thieves, they're on 7 rounds, Sean, but again, that was where, you know, you said all the stats stop for teams against them, so maybe TSM can recover that. It was looking pretty good for 100 Thieves, but there is a lot to be desired now at this point. Speaking of, Dicey's going to pull out the Blade Storm. Looking to send those daggers into the wayward opponents as they come through to the B sites. And that's Sabrosa. He actually catches a reposition of Dicey. That's unfortunate timing for Dicey. Nitro unable to capitalize as he wanted. And Dicey, 5 HP. Able to find the headshot still, though. The updraft to try to find a good position for a next kill, but 3 versus 4 for 100 Thieves with this eco rounds.
2 showstoppers in play this round. One of those could, you know, have impact on how this round plays out. Hiko getting things very close here, 3 on 2. And Hayes doesn't want any of that. He's gonna leave and go to the A site. But Steel is in between the TSM players and Hayes. He could definitely throw a wrench in things right now. If he catches Drone on the rotate back to A, and you can see he's waiting. He knows someone from TSM is still by B. Which path is Drone gonna take to this A site? Oh dear, he's going right into Steel's loving arms.
If he gives up a gun here as well, Steel, oh, he just gets it! And that's a Phantom. He could try to go for the lockdown play now as well. That's also a possibility from Steel. Is he going to drop the lockdown here to try to clear out the side, or is he just going to go for the frags? Okay, there comes the showstopper out from Hiko, getting himself onto the side, into the dark cover, straight into Hayes' face with the rocket. Now Cutler has to come out from his hidey hole, straight from the A-ramp into the clutches of Hiko. And Hiko's going to annihilate him. What a round. The Playzilla thrifty there from 100 Thieves. Beautiful work.
Oh, the game sense from the in-game leader on 100 Thieves, Steel. He was so patient. I think if I were in Steel's shoes right there, I'd be like, okay, this isn't gonna happen, you know. I'll turn my back, and I'd probably get timed. He waited for so long. He was so confident that Drone would come back through ropes late. And I think that was the frag that turned things on its head that round.
Absolutely, and the way that the placement of the alarm bot too, Drone couldn't know that Steel was there when he first hears the sound cues. So he's thinking he can just walk back up or climb back up the rope safely. That ain't the case. 100 Thieves back in this with that thrifty. That could change everything. The jiggle there, or rather the jump peek from Sabrosa, shouldering the angle to try to force Steel out. Steel doesn't want any of this.
The confidence in these two players. Is the game with abilities?
Shut that down.
Didn't know.
Now the
Austin
aggression
through that dark cover. He's through. He's in mail. Cutler takes him out. Longer. Not for longer at all. Cutler takes him out, giving it an early first blood here for TSM. And they're going to go with the B hit. Oh, dear. What do we have working right now? Sabrosa with the showstopper. Wardell with the Blade Storm. This is going to be a hard hold for Hiko. Hiko and Steel here in the B site. No rotate for miles.
And the Boomer Patrol ready to defend. We'll see. They're going to give it up here. They have to. They've got to respect the showstopper pulled out by Sabrosa as he makes his way all the way through to spawn. Oh, hello. Well, there's the trade at the very least. The lockdown planted by Steel. He's got to defend that. They might try to take it down, or will they be forced outside? Oh, wow, there we go. Steel's able to basically get a free kill onto Drone as he makes the play to stop the lockdown. Now Steel knows that they have to be forced out the site. He knows they have to be in B main. He's going to try to stick it halfway at the very least. He's going to go all the way. Forced back. Steel takes down Wardell. It's now down to Cutler in the 1v1. Steel back on the spike, and he's got it! Steel! Oh, beautiful hold there from Dicey to finish it off, but Steel with the setup, the big brain plays. He didn't hesitate, Sean. He just dropped that lockdown straight away.
Oh my god, you could tell how much that round mattered to both teams. It's so rare, but sometimes in Valorant matches you see these rounds where ult after ult after ult after ult is popped. In that round, we saw a showstopper, a rolling thunder, we saw a blade storm, we saw a lockdown. We just saw everything. And that round is more than just one round in the flow of this match, because everything was on the line right there. And you can see now TSM has nothing to work with besides their utility and their weapons.
This is so awesome. 100 Thieves, really. Like, Steel has been so impressive. The last couple rounds, the kind of maneuvers, the patience, the brains of him has been amazing. And the mail take attempt from Drone, and unfortunately he runs into Asuna with that stinger. Asuna can get out of there for free. And TSM, they just go down a player. Momentum really feels like it's truly shifted, but this could be a good point for TSM to find a way to stop that. And they have ropes control. 100 Thieves don't have info, but they've got the player advantage instead.
Do, and they have the right stack here. There's 3 people at this A site, and Hiko's actually cheating a little bit towards A. This take for TSM is going to be a nightmare. It's going to take them a long time before this spike gets into the site.
Steel's already pushed B, so they know exactly what's going on. 100 Thieves know everything, and they're going to take every single kill, except for Hayes, but he'll be dealt with soon enough. 100 Thieves, great play on the information after that initial pick to secure it. And that's that aggression, you know, we were talking about before with Steel, Sean, as well. Like, if it wasn't enough that they had the right stack, Steel actually just pushes aggressively through B main and just gets that information. There's not many Killjoys who are going to be as aggressive as Steel.
No, I haven't seen one yet, I'll say that. Steel is super aggressive on that Killjoy. And we're in a scenario here late in this game where 100 Thieves can tie it up on the defense side of Split. Unbelievable.
This is very impressive. It did kind of look like after that initial 4-round string of TSM that 100 Thieves are really going to start to struggle. But it was that Steel Thrifty situation in the ropes. That's where everything turned around. That's the moment. And then after that, again, that's just intuition from Steel. Just instantly knows he can drop that lockdown in spawn in a spot where he has to hold it by himself. He knows they're going to be coming for him. And just, getting the stick. There's just so many scenarios where Steel had to deliver some just really epic plays, and he was able to do so. And that's lifted all of 100 Thieves now. And here we go. Dicey with that operator flashed off. TSM back to the mid shenanigans.
Just run it back has had so much power for Drone. And here it is again coming up. Mail. Is Asuna going to be able to stop this?
Have to see, you got to be so careful. Drone is so reliably gets kills from this, but finally it will go down. And Wardell will also go down, actually. Asuna takes him out, but TSM pushed the issue straight through the B choke point, but Hiko sprays him down, and that is very damaging. Drone is the only man left standing for TSM. He's got 100 health. He's lost all of his shields. He's going to have to make some crazy moves. He finds a nice timing onto Hiko. Didn't know where Drone was, but they certainly know where he is now. And Dicey is one of the players Drone's going to have to somehow deal with the timing. Dicey finds the perfect peak, and that's going to be the round for 100 Thieves. They tied up, Sean, 11-11.
Whew. Very big play right there by Dicey to deny the spike grab from Drone. I could see it, in my mind's eye. He was going to throw down that Phoenix wall, grab the spike, and just book it into the unknown. It was so important that Dicey did not allow that to happen, and the youngster hits the massive shot to tie up the game 11-11. And look at the buy from TSM, Dan. Yikes.
I'm looking and I'm not enjoying it. What I'm seeing, Steel is on the A site with all of his util. We've got Dicey on that operator peak, on that elevated position on top of the hut there, looking into B main. That's often good for one, that's for sure. And they can really rely on him in that spot. And they can play more passive towards that A site. The setup across the map looks really good for 100 Thieves right now, if the weapon advantage wasn't enough.
Hayes has gotten a lot of ground by this A ramps area. And you can see now he's smoking top mail for his teammates. This could be a heaven pinch on the A bomb site here. And Asuna is up there all by himself. He has an alarm bot to work with, and I'm sure he has his 2 Lear. But this is a very tall ask for the youngster.
I'll have to see what they're able to cobble together here, is if they can get that one quick key kill, take down Asuna, they might be able to do something here. They'll flash him off at the very least so he can't hold some of these angles there. Comes the Cloudburst too. They are faking it. They're pulling the rotation. This is actually genius because this way they get to avoid Steel's utility on the A site. Back into B. Dicey's got it all to do. Dicey gets pinched from 2 sides at exactly the same moment. He doesn't know what to do. And this might just be a TSM round. They are doing an incredible job so far. And now they have the site. They've got the spike planted. They've got post-plant positions. Asuna is going to try to make his way beyond the smoke, but he gets sent straight back through by Wardell. Steel there, trying to find one with the spray. He's going to get it. Steel! Oh, they almost line up for Steel. It's up to Hiko now, but he's been spotted. He's been tagged down to 33. They're playing around the pillars, the rafters. It's just too many spots to worry about as Hayes takes him out, and TSM pick up an incredibly needed round.
TSM has robbed 100 Thieves of their match point. I can't believe what I'm witnessing. The perfect A heaven fake. I mentioned Asuna had a lot to do. He did, and he backed off. Hiko was forced to rotate Wardell with the perfect one-way smoke over CT spawn to deny info. But all the meanwhile, Drone is working that B heaven position, and the B site falls.
Man, the Playzilla Thrifty, what a moment for it. That is one of the best rounds I've seen from a team, just positionally, the way they manipulated the rotations of their opponents. And that's the round that might get TSM back into this. Again, we cannot stress how important it is for TSM to win this map. It really has a huge impact on their ability, their percentage chance to win this grand finals, this best of 5 finals here at First Strike North America. And we have a pretty slow start here to begin with. We do have already some position for B main.
I'm gonna stop you, Dan. Dicey is here at this B site. He has been shaky throughout the playoffs. This is a B hit. He has everything to do. The ult is coming in behind him.
That's pretty good, though. He does get rid of the ult there at the backside. Very calm after the whiff of that first shot. He's going to be able to reset himself. Great shot from Dicey. He said he has it all to do. He's starting to recover nicely. Asuna's in there as well, dismissing, and they can't get the site. They're getting sprayed down. 100 Thieves are looking so damn good right now as they clean up the entire site. The spike is not planted. It's the Prime Gaming flawless. It's map 1. It's overtime 1 here, Sean, in this grand final. You wouldn't want it any other way.
Prime Gaming flawless to push it to OT. Dicey, the shaky player earlier on in the tournament, comes up massive in the biggest moment of the tournament thus far for 100 Thieves. The dash to get away from that fault line, popping the daggers, opening it up, perfect cloud burst. Asuna coming in. Wow. Wow, they reacted to that perfectly on the B site. And that's going to settle things down. 12-12, we're in OT. No ults on the table. Even playing field, and Wardell is on the glass cannon operator.
And it's just like matchmaking. First team to get 2 rounds. Whew. That's a close one. But it is still 5-5, and there's some mid-control there. Coming through for 100 Thieves against the Brozer trying to ask questions of this B main control. It is something that we saw consistently from 100 Thieves that they were looking to get to farm those ultimate orbs. But in OT, you're not thinking about the ult orbs as much.
Dan, the B hit's coming in. Wardell's going to move in front of this smoke, but he's flashed off, and that leaves Hazed on Catwalk B all by himself.
Great timing there from Dicey, though. Takes down Sabrosa. That forces Hayes to fall back. He's got to fall back. Wardell's the one to pick up the kill though, and it's a 3v4 retake scenario. Still doable here for TSM, but certainly a difficult scenario given the fact that they got to reset. And 100 Thieves know it. 100 Thieves get time to set themselves up. With that said, we can see Wardell scanning with the operator. Oh, the timing on the unscope, it's so unfortunate. Steel takes down Wardell, punishes him in the most extreme fashion for that unscope. And now Drone and Cutler will try to do what they can in this very difficult scenario. That turret will get taken down. Drone pushing his way forwards, trying to gain some ground here, but these crossfires are going to be dangerous. The dark cover as well. Drone makes his way through. The flashbang's pretty good, but unfortunately, it's just Cutler, and that's just not enough in this scenario, and that's 100 Thieves with the first round of OT1.
Whew.
Switching sides.
Goodness gracious, these rounds are so close. The flash from Cutler, I believe, blinded all 3 players from 100 Thieves. But it's just, I mean, they just got unblind because there's so many things for Drone to worry about coming through that dark cover. That could have easily gone the other way. But here we are, 13-12, 100 Thieves. I believe this is their first lead of the entire game, Dan.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. It's kind of insane to imagine, but we can see Dicey now playing from the Rose position. He will be smoked off. No vision for him. Ooh, oh, wow. He actually got tagged a lot trying to escape there. That's well done by TSM. And lots of pressure on this mid position. They're lurking up A ramp as well. Good stuff here from TSM. They've got control of A ramp. They've got control of mid. There is definitely a lot of pressure towards that A site in that sense.
This stalemate here at A ramp could ultimately determine how this match plays out. And Hayes, the more patient one, catches Dicey, falls off of his spot, completely unaware that Hayes had already lurked across. And Hayes is now holding this heaven rotate, telling his teammates to come back. Wardell holding screens. This is going to be a 1-on-5 in the A site for Steel. He has everything to do here.
Steel is the man that can. We'll see what he can do from elbow. He takes down the first player, resetting for the second. Steel picks up 2 frags. You couldn't have asked for any more from him. That will equalize it into a 3 versus 3 here on the retake.
30 seconds
Asuna
left.
ready to push in. The dark cover is going to force Wardell to have to come through here. He hasn't got vision. He needs to be able to help his teammates. Cutler there with the flash for Wardell to get out the dark cover. We'll have to see, though, if they can make this work around elbow. Cutler with 2. TSM need this round desperately. It's up to Nitro. He's trying to get out of there. He's going to get smashed by that rolling thunder.
Oh my God, he dinked.
Still gets the dink onto Hayes. Hayes has to fall back, and they have to slow play this one now. Nitro makes his way forward. The paranoia there goes down, turns away from the flash. Nitro looking to find the last player. Where has he gone? Hayes rotates up top. He's going to go down with the TP. Nitro going for the stick. He's going all the way for the stick. Oh! Hayes saves it barely.
Oh my God. This is so close every round. I can't believe it. Nitro. There's been so many times this man has just almost pulled out the heroics, and I thought he had done it again. I thought he had the stick. Hayes comes in at literally the last millisecond of this defuse.
Oh my God. That is so hard for Nitro too, to like know whether or not he should come off of it. It was both players made the best possible play, Sean. Those are the best clutch moments. My God. Just taking a moment, taking a moment after that one, but the players can't. We're straight back into the action. 100 Thieves with that B main control again. Wardell in B heaven with the operator. Looking like
has been flashing this every round, so I would be shocked if they give this shot to Wardell right now, Dan.
Oh my God. They didn't give it to him. They were already trying to take it away. That paranoia was perfect. But Wardell had a great timing shot there to find the frag regardless. Wardell looking to step it up here as he looks to help his team win this map. And the paranoia, is just, we just saw it set up. There it goes, gets sent forwards, though the cloudburst will deny vision. And that will protect the players that were blind. But Wardell, is there any protection from Wardell? That's the question, as he has to fall back there. And the isolation of Hayes is going to be the death of him. 3 versus 4 for TSM now, as they go for the retake. And 100 Thieves get their spike planted.
Spike planted.
Wardell from top again. 2 players on pillar and 1 in B main here for 100 Thieves. And 1 back site. It's a lot to deal with. There is a lot of breach utility for Cutler though, so there's lots of options, and the Phoenix Wall too. They can really pull this one off as they start to make their way forward. The drone is going to make his way forwards, and let's see what he can do. He's going to get taken down, but is there a trade to be had? Oh, absolutely not. 100 Thieves, 14 rounds. Oh my God, 100 Thieves, Sean. They are impressing me so much.
Yeah, and if you look at the kill spread across their team, they're all coming up big. This time, again, it's Dicey playing in between the Cloudburst, protecting his entire team from that paranoia. That could have gone completely different without a Cloudburst protecting his team. And he moves between them, jiggle peeks Wardell, plays around them, lets them fade, and then takes out Hayes. That opened up the B site. And now we sit again, 100 Leaves in the lead. Double overtime.
TSM need to figure out how to work out this 100 Thieves squad. This is such an even matchup on split. 100 Thieves showing a performance on this map that they've never shown before. Dicey backside, he's been spotted. Do they know where his help is though? They know there must be some support somewhere. Nitro is on the crates, but he will not get any love from that position. It's a reset back into mid for TSM.
It is, and I think 100 Thieves has read this quite well. They have 4 people at this B site. They're trusting Steel at A. Steel saying, stack B, I'm good. I have all this utility here. And Hayes bringing the spike to B. TSM is going right into the teeth of this setup right now.
They may be expecting that Dicey would have rotated as well, but he's still on that B site. Because typically an operator, when spotted, often rotates out of that initial position. So that might be one of the things they're counting on.
The breach flashes could break up this setup. It's hard to say what Cutler's gonna prioritize here, but he go with the paint shells right on B main, and Dicey taking out Sabrosa, Nitro following it up. Dan, this is coming down quickly for TSM.
This Cutler left there, and he's gonna get shot straight in the face. Incredible stuff there. 100 Thieves. That, I just don't even know exactly what to say about that one, Sean. They showed a performance that they've never showed before, ever. That was TSM's map to win. Statistically, everything was against 100 Thieves, but they're showing us that they are something else in this tournament. They are ready to win a grand finals here. TSM have a huge recovery to make after that one.
That was such an awesome game to watch. And I swear, I'm not 100% because I don't have the scoreboard in front of me, but it seemed like 100 Thieves' first lead of the game was in overtime, 13-12. They still get tied up on 13-13, but they take it in double overtime. There was so many times where I thought TSM was just going to close out the game. You know, the eco round where Steel is hiding in vents, so many solid plays coming from 100 Thieves, and it's exactly what we've seen all tournament long.
It's really incredible when you think about it. Some of the magic we're seeing, like what you said, that was the moment when Steel won that round, and then the following round where there was that B hit that came through and Steel again had all of these clutch plays one after the other, just knew exactly what to do and was perfect on his execution. That was the moment, and that's the kind of magic that it takes to win a grand finals. We know TSM can do that kind of stuff too, yes. And 100 Thieves have proven that they have that in spades here as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's next. What is next, Dan? I'm totally at a loss. My brain is
bind.
Is it bind? It's bind. Okay.
It's gonna be bind.
We've seen both of these teams play bind, I believe, throughout the event, right? It's not one of the ones we haven't seen. Yeah. So
I believe so. Yes.
I believe we haven't seen TSM play Haven. We haven't seen TSM play Icebox, and we haven't seen 100 Thieves play Ascent. So this is a map where we have a little bit of knowledge on. And I can't wait to see what the teams have in store for the finals.
Absolutely. And that's going to be all from us for right this moment. It's time to hear from your analyst to break down that first incredible Map 1.
Thank you very much, DDK. Incredible to say the least. I'll take 4 more of those, please, to close out our grand final for the day. Jordan Fisher, we couldn't ask for anything more. Let's talk about it as we pull up our Prime Gaming map highlights and relive some of the best moments from Map 1.
Man, you are right. That was, what, 56 minutes and 50 seconds of what was a movie to start off our grand finals matchup between TSM and 100 Thieves, I mean, it was everything that you wanted, right? There's a storyline here. The kills that freak me out the most, that make my palms sweat, that make me scream, are not the 2, 3, 4Ks. It's the kills that matter, like Steel, right outside of, right on B there. With these util properly utilizing. And then Nitro as well. I mean, Drone obviously starting off really hot for TSM, definitely set the pace and gave them some momentum to build off of. But Nitro, with 25 on the board there, I mean, did a beautiful job at leading TSM to a victory here.
Let's summarize all of what you had just said, saying there, Jordan, with the experience. We talk about that theme for 100 Thieves going into this matchup. So you mentioned Nitro. For me, he's the unsung hero of the overtime that allowed 100 Thieves to actually overtake this, but the patience of Hiko and Steel. That 2 versus 2 where they actually got that thrifty round where Hiko was able to lurk into B, get a couple of entries, and then you had Hayes that actually teleported over to from out of the shadows into the A site. The patience of Steel inside vents to be like, I don't care if he plants. I know my teammate has a gun. He has to rotate over from B to A, and I know that there's actually a lurker that's looking to rotate. He kills Drone, picks up his weapon. They have a showstopper ready. They have a lockdown ready to perfectly win a 2 versus 2. And right after that, you had a superb round coming in from Steel 2, how he's able to entry versus an operator. Him versus Wardell. I talked about Dicey versus Wardell, but it seems as though it might be a Killjoy versus Wardell, kind of like Vandal versus operator this matchup.
I want to key into something that Sean Garris had said just at the end of the cast there. The fact that for so much of this map in particular, TSM was the one leading in rounds. It wasn't until basically overtime that 100 Thieves was able to claw into it. And Veli, when we talk about how TSM got out to such a hot start, so much of that was Drone.
Yeah, Drone was absolutely insane. Now, you know, we were always talking about Sabrosa, Wardell, and everyone else, but Drone, especially towards the A site, he was locking it down. Him on Phoenix just makes more and more sense at the end of the day, and like we said earlier, there's going to be no one better, and it just goes to show that his change, going from Phoenix, Sova, Breach, you know, whatever, and then landing back on Phoenix, it just opens up this team so much more. Now, we noticed they don't have any Sentinels, but that's what makes TSM even better. You ask who's going to be flank watch. Well, it doesn't even matter. You put Drone back there with the flash and all the utility that he has. He can even get his health back. He's just been a diamond for this team. And personally, I feel like he's been the biggest star here.
And we're going to see who's going to go the distance here. Obviously, a best of 5 is very different than a best of 3. This is a marathon for these athletes here, and we're going to have to see map to map, agent selection to agent selection, and the comp that we obviously know. Yeah, who can? Who can? We'll see.
Well, what are your thoughts there, Vansili? Because we are going to Bind next, and again, as the casters had said, this is one of the maps that we've seen both teams play throughout this tournament, so there's a little bit of evidence here for us to back up some analysis. How do you feel after TSM ultimately dropping this first map to 100 Thieves is going to have an opportunity to bring it back here on Bind?
Overall, I think looking at the lineup that TSM had going into the map on Split, them going with triple duelist the whole tournament, I think it was fair to say that it's a tougher map to play with a triple duelist when a Sentinel could put so much into the map. But a map like Bind now, where there's a possibility that TSM pulls out Sky into the rotation to actually help the aggression of these 3 fraggers, there's 3 duelists for TSM to actually pinch on the defender side and get those entries. I mean, like I said, we saw it one time where it was a Trailblazer from Cutler mixed with the Jet Dash coming in from Wardell so that they could take U control. It's going to be continued aggression from TSM. They might have a better chance. You know, Split wasn't their map pick in the first place anyways.
Veli, you talking about... Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to jump on Vans. I got excited. You're talking about taking control. The reason why this map is so important, 100 Thieves, they're 2-0 here. TSM, 1-0. The biggest difference is the attack and defense. The attack on 100 Thieves, they're 52%. TSM on defense, 83%. If you're looking for a storyline, this is going to be it.
All right, this is it. Map number 2. It's the one that when we looked at all 5 of them, Veli called out as the most important. Both of these teams on Bind with winning percentages. Well, only one can come away with the win this time around. We're heading to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we continue this best of 5 grand final between 100 Thieves and TSM. We'll see you soon.